Hello my beautiful friends, it's Lisa here from Arcane and Stellar, and I want to welcome you to my channel for this timeless pick a card reading. We're going to be looking at your future partner. So your next, basically the next one that will come in, your next romantic partner. Now, we're going to be looking at quality of character and all the details that come through. So with group number 1, we've got the little, I guess it's a cherub, and then we've got number Cupid or something like that, and then we've got number 2 here, 3 and 4. And so I want you to choose with your intuition, kind of ponder this question and see where you're feeling drawn. You may feel drawn to more than one, and that's totally fine. You may get messages from both of them, so that will help, kind of fluff out your message a little bit more. So anyway, go ahead and take your choice, and you can find that the description box up above has the timestamp, so you can go straight to your message and not have to listen to the whole reading. Yep, let's go ahead and get started. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, my friends. If you chose group number 1, this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and dive in. Who is your next romantic partner? So you've got the card Orphaned, Taurus, the Letter and the Tree, the Lovers and the Wheel of Fortune, and finally we have got Bereavement and Meetings. So, I'm definitely sensing, you guys, for this group that perhaps you felt like your love life has been a bit tricky. Perhaps you've had loss. Now, for some of you, you may have had other types of loss as well in your life where you've been feeling really down. With Orphaned and Bereavement, I definitely get a sense of that. Now, here's the thing. I feel like this next connection is going to be quite healing for you. Even if you're not fresh out of a breakup or fresh out of a loss, it may be that life has hit you harder than others, in terms of your relationships. And I feel like this is a huge turnaround. This person is going to turn all of that around and really be a healing influence. With the Letter and the Tree here, we can show, obviously communication coming in. So this could be quite traditional even with Taurus as well. So you may meet in a modern, traditional way. This could be through correspondence, maybe through dating apps or something like that. It could be, or somehow you start chatting or something. But it doesn't have to be written communication. It could be just showing that you guys are really basing, there's a lot of communication in the early days. Some people's relationships, they kind of start with an attraction, and that's totally fine. There's an attraction, and maybe they don't talk a whole lot, but it kind of starts there, and then they begin to talk. This makes me feel like the relationship is based on talking more. So in a sense, you guys might be friends initially, or maybe it's very traditional. It's kind of like kind of slow moving even. I feel like it's slow and steady progress, to be honest. And but I will tell you that I do feel like that this is a connection that begins with communication, but of course it may be through online text, etc. But it's not fleeting. This is actually where it's like you guys are building a strong root system together, and it has deep potential, I feel like, as well. And of course we see the meetings. So of course it's like, maybe it's starting with some sort of online communication and then meeting up in person as well. And there can be a lot of thoughtful conversations, I want to say, as well as, just a general, I think you guys will find attraction early on, to be honest. But yeah, so the Lovers here. So signifying a partner. With the Lovers, well, first of all, they're romantic, okay? So this can actually mean that the connection is going to mean a lot to you. That, he or she has entered your life for purpose, for, a treasured type of connection. It's like a deeper connection. And again, it can talk about sort of that fresh and new perspective. And I feel like that's the thing. With the Orphan card and the Bereavement card, I feel like this person is going to show you what love is in a different way than maybe you've previously experienced. Sorry if I'm clearing my throat a little bit. So it is a Gemini card, of course. So we've got Taurus and Gemini. These signs are adjacent to each other, obviously. So it's very common for people to have placements, you know what I mean, because of the proximity of Mercury and Venus to the Sun, etc. So it's very common for people to have these sort of things. So they could have Taurus and Gemini vibes. But anyway, it can really show positive communication between the two of you. Obviously, Gemini is ruled by Mercury. And again, it's like good conversations. It's maybe somebody who encourages you to talk about yourself and maybe your experiences. And it actually ends up being healing for you in some way. And they could have a very good sense of humor. I feel like the sexual relationship obviously should be pretty on fire as well. We see that fire behind. Very tempting and, kind of vibrant, I would say. So there's a lot of attraction. Now, the Wheel of Fortune, though, this can show somebody who doesn't stay stuck on something for too long. I feel like this person has an optimistic kind of personality, and you guys have a lot of optimism together, actually, to be honest. I feel like it's like... So that's the thing. They can be very fun and interesting. They may like many different adventures. They may like to kind of change things up as well. That kind of person. They're not boring, not a stick in the mud. It's an optimistic person, extroverted as well. They could even have a lot of generosity, specifically with like gifts and money, that sort of thing. Like they might show their love through these things, especially with Taurus being here as well, kind of compounding that message. I feel like that they're in close touch with their emotions, and they can express them without inhibition. Maybe that sometimes they're a little bit slow to open up, but I would say that generally they're going to be, quite open. And I feel like I'm looking at that hourglass, and it makes me feel like that there's a fatedness to it. It's like the right time for you to meet. So there's definitely a sense of fate with this. But another strong characteristic of this card in terms of personality can be a good sense of humor. So, it's a person who loves to make you laugh, even on your darkest days. They want to help you see the funny side of things. They want to, make your life brighter. And they could be a very good entertainer as well. Like they like to throw parties, or at least like, be like, not necessarily big parties or anything like that. They may be a homebody. I'm not saying that they're all like, going to be having like, raves at the home or anything crazy, but they're good at entertaining people. They are good at meeting up with people and conversing with people. Very social, kind of socially skilled, I would say. And they're original and quirky. They may have like a little bit of a different side to them than others. Like there's something that makes them stand out as well. And they could have a wide range of people in their life where it's like they just kind of get along with anybody. You know what I mean? Like whether they'll have like, say they're 30 years old, let's say, and it's like they've got friends that are 70, that are, 20 or whatever. Like they can just talk to anybody, that sort of thing. And I feel like, it's a person who's proud of you, that wants to introduce you to everybody as well. Now, I don't feel like they stay down too long in life. The Wheel of Fortune always shows that somebody picks themselves back up. So it's like, even if they get down, it's like they don't stay down for too long. Their optimism will rise again, and they'll, and they may have a natural lucky streak. They may have things that happen to them that are quite lucky. I was talking to my mother about that once, because she was talking about how important it is, like, we were talking about like astrology and synastry, specifically, and about how, when you are in a partnership, you have your signs, your planets and your signs, the degrees, etc., and then your partner has it. And obviously, if you're not familiar, there's a way to read that called synastry. Now, many of you probably already are aware of what synastry is, but anyway, but it's like your partner's transits can affect you in turn. And it's interesting because I do see that in a lot of long-term partners, including my own marriage, where we get transits at the same time because we have a lot of things at similar degrees. Like our ascendants are not that far apart, and we have our moons are like in aspect to each other, etc. You know what I mean? So a lot of times, and they're in good aspect to each other. So it's always kind of like if I'm getting a benefit, he's getting a benefit, etc. So, but anyway, I almost feel like, you know what I mean? There's something there between the two of you in that regard as well. So yeah, that is what I'm seeing so far. Let's see. In terms of how, like I said, you might meet, I do feel like it does spark through conversation, like I said, and I feel like it's like the type of conversation that is, it's got substance, it's got longevity. I feel like you guys are building roots together, and, it's just an overall very lovely situation. And one moment, I'm just trying to see, where did I put my thing here? I have another deck I want to use, and of course, I was cleaning last night and organizing my space and totally kind of restack things in a different way. Okay, what can we find out additionally about this connection? Oh, you know, I was going to tell you, like, while I was doing this group, by the way, I did channel a song. And I think this is the only group, actually, that I channeled a song for. But there's a song. It's an old country song, actually, from the 90s, I think. And it was called You Won't Ever Be Lonely by Andy Griggs. And that's the vibe of this person. Like, I don't know. I just felt like that is, like, their song to you. Or vice versa. I mean, of course, for some of you, it may go the other way around. You know what I mean? Like, you may be that person who, you know, just cares deeply about them and wants to, you know what I mean, be there. So this is, look at this energy, so beautiful. See, and you know what's funny is I feel like the sense of a sunset, to be honest. Look at the moon's in a similar phase as well. But anyway, I was going to say that this is a relationship that's really going to let you let go of previous experiences and really heal. Because I think that's an important part. A lot of people say, oh, you've got to be healed for a relationship, etc. But they don't realize that, like, I don't know, maybe, I'm sure that many do, but I'm just saying that there are some, it seems like it's like, well, but you do gain, you learn through relationships, you know what I mean? And you can also learn good things, you know, how to be treated and what kindness is, etc. And I think it's a, you know, a good thing, obviously. But anyway, we've got forgiveness and change your tune. And that's the thing. I feel like this is going to be a very transformative relationship. It's certainly faded for you, definitely. And I feel like you're really going to be letting go. And that thing I was going to say about the sunset aspect of it is it makes you think that this is like this could be your final relationship. This could be your last one. You know what I mean? Like where you're really setting down, you know, essentially, and settling down. You know what I mean? Tucking in with this one. Like it's like you're tucking in at night and that's it. You know what I mean? You may meet also during the evening, of course, or during this moon phase. But yeah, Moonlight Serenade, change your tune. It says, look at your question from a new perspective. Don't be afraid to admit if you're wrong. Allow someone else to take the lead. Focus on the good things in life and relax a little. Take it down a notch. To be in flow with someone, personally or professionally, we need to listen to them and get ourselves into harmony rather than trying to have it all our own way. Interesting. So, of course, this could be a very harmonious relationship in which both of you are listening to each other as well. And it says you may need to change your tune. Have you been harping on and on about the same old thing? It's time for you to change things up. Maybe you've been a little too frantic and it's time to slow things down. Stop and hear the music of the spheres, the planets. That's funny because I did channel a song for you guys. Maybe you guys will really enjoy music together. You know, like go to a concert or find similarities in the type of music you listen to, etc. Is it time to choose love over fear? It's so easy to get stuck in particular ways of communicating. Maybe the person you need to get through now will respond in a way that's more to your liking if you sing a different song. In other words, try a new tactic. Beautiful. So that's interesting because, like I said, I really do feel like for you guys, this is going to be a relationship that change your definitions. Because I do have a feeling that there's a good portion of you watching, maybe not everybody, that's been hurt. Like I said, greatly hurt in relationships and perhaps needs, you know, a relationship to kind of change their perspective, a good one, you know what I mean? And I feel like this is one of those relationships where you really can get to a better place, you know, in terms of how you trust others, etc. Yeah, it's like, I feel like heaven's sending you this person to help you understand trust and faith in another person, etc. So anyway, wishing you the very, very best. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day wherever you are. And thank you for being here. I'll see you next time. Hello, my friends. If you chose group number 2 here with this beautiful little lips here and the Ace of Hearts here, this is your next relationship. So let's find out exactly who are they, what's going on, etc. So you've got time to go. We've got blessing. I did choose these images like intuitively. So I do feel like they'll be quite the romantic, very affectionate, and they may really like physical affection in particular. Okay, we have his thoughts on unexpected money. Ooh, okay, let's see here. So first of all, this is going to be a destined connection as well, much like group number 1. I do feel like with that time to go card, it is going to be one in which you're entering new doors in your life, and this is going to bring you new perspectives, etc. I will tell you that the Two of Pentacles could indicate that you're going to have 2 different people to choose from. Okay. And so some of you might come to a point where you actually have 2 different people that you're deciding against, and you're going to choose the one person, to be honest. And I don't know if some of you are going to be married when this happens, with the ring here. I know this must be very specific, so I'm not going to say it's for everyone, but for some of you, if you're watching and you're married or you're in a relationship already, there could be somebody else that comes in that could be a choice, and they may drag you away from a relationship. Now, for others of you, obviously, if you're not in a relationship, you're single, this could indicate 2 people coming in at the same time, okay? I do feel like you may meet through others or be brought together in some way. Some of you may meet through work with that Two of Pentacles as well. I do feel like there is a commitment that comes out of this. So even if those like 2 things I brought up as potentials don't resonate, say you're single and everything, like I said, of course there's still the chance that 2 people will come in at one time, where you'll kind of have to make a choice on who to get to know more or who to go with more as well, like choosing between the 2 suitors. And again, too, this could show the energy of them, the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles. 2 different kind of personalities, to be honest, of course. You know, the King of Wands can be very passionate, and the other one can be very compassionate as well, but like, sorry, I said passionate, sorry, and then I said compassionate, whatever, both things, obviously, because I made that mistake. So it must have been a slip of the tongue that was meant to be. But, of course, we have somebody who's a little bit more traditional even, the King of Pentacles. So for some of you also, by the way, I'm going to tell you about your next romantic partner. Okay, so here's the thing. I could see a scenario where you decide to go with one person and somebody comes out of the woodwork and decides to tell you like, hey, no, I'm in love with you. I'm telling you, for some of you, that's what's going to happen. Maybe not for all of you, but like there's a good portion of you where suddenly someone else will come around right around the time that you think you're going to get with somebody else. Perhaps like you've got somebody else maybe in mind, etc. and the other person's like, no, wait, but I love you. I want to be with you. And you're like, what? What? Yeah. So now, okay, kind of diving into these 2 people, because, and again too, there could be a sense of a choice that happens, okay, during this time. And maybe some of you are like, no freaking way would ever 2 people at one time be into me. Nuh-uh, no. But I'm telling you, there's something to it, because we have that blessing card. It makes you think of like, it almost makes you think of like feeling like, what? I don't attract that much attention. I don't know. It's just like I'm getting that feeling. Now, the King of Wands, of course, can symbolize a very vibrant character, a very enthusiastic person, obviously very passionate, as I was mentioning earlier. Humor obviously can attract, people to them. They might be like pretty like witty and wise and fun to be around. Generally, they're, representing somebody that you meet through work. Of course, like I was talking about, Two of Pentacles too could represent that. Usually he's an entrepreneur type, kind of a go-getter. Sometimes he can be linked with like land and property as well. Charitable, philanthropist, kind of vibe here. And there could be a passion for the outdoors as well. They could be like very active. Even if they don't go to the Wands energy, and I used to always disagree. I used to think like it wasn't true because I'm an Aries, Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Venus. So I've got a lot of Aries energy. A lot of fire, and I've never been a sports person, right? But what's funny is that I've always been a very like active. And in fact, actually, I can give you an example of that from this morning. Like, I was talking on the phone with my father because it's Father's Day as I'm filming this, and yeah, I got like almost 2,000 steps from like pacing around while I was talking on the phone, and burned like almost 100 calories. I think it was actually because I was like really going for it. I was like, and that's me. I'm active, and that's kind of the energy of the King of Wands. They're an active person, so they could like the outdoors as well. Like even if it's going for a walk, as an example, or hiking, or fishing, whatever. There's something about getting out and about that's going to be like something important to them. Okay, now, of course, there can be sports involved, but not always. Like I said, I wanted to give you that different perspective, because I feel like that's one thing that astrology kind of messes around with. But of course, we're talking about tarot as well. But anyway, he's ambitious, an ambitious person. Like I said, a go-getter, and he's not the type to let people not know that they're, he's interested. Okay, so they will definitely make it clear through flirtation. You know what I mean? Like they'll make actions. They'll show you through action that they like you. They'll show up at your door, or you know what I mean, or do whatever that that needs to be done. You'll know it because you see their fruits by their actions. Okay, like they will show you. If a fire sign, as an example, or like a King of Wands type of person's not into you, you're not going to hear from them. They don't care. They'll take action, you know what I mean? They're going to message, they're going to talk, they're going to do things, etc. You'll see it through their action. Anyway, now, of course, this can talk about, sometimes it can talk about somebody that is on the side, but like I said, I feel like that's going to probably be like much less of you that are going to have that message, but for some of you, just saying. The King of Pentacles, of course, is a more traditional character, and definitely sensual, often, connected to the physical senses, so it can be a very, and again, by the way, I don't want you guys to get caught up on the gender. These are just, clarifying the character, like the characteristics. It could be a man or a woman, it doesn't really matter. Obviously, especially if it's in a personal reading, maybe that makes more sense, but like in a collective reading like this, where many people may be watching, don't get caught up on the genders. Okay, now, there is a quiet success with this one. Definitely somebody who is prudent in their investments. They try to make good investments in their life. They do all the right things. They try to be you may find them to be very traditional in that sense. And they really value stability. And there's deep and enduring feelings here as well. Very loyal type of person. Can be a bit jealous or possessive sometimes because there's that need, that profound need for security. So it's like if they feel like they're off kilter, they're going to get jealous and possessive a little bit more because they're like, wait, I don't feel safe. You know what I mean? So they can have that. That's obviously something there. But yeah, this is a person, like I said, a good character, probably quite responsible even as well. Usually they're going to have a good job or be well established in their life. Good potential in that regard, very responsible towards work, towards resources, etc. As well. And this could really talk about somebody who's looking for a deeper commitment. They are the relationship type. They're the type to settle down. They're not the type to flitter around. The King of Wands can be a little bit like that, although I resent that because I've been married for a long time, and I kind of already told you about me. I don't want to go into that too much, but it's silly to say that fire signs can't settle down because I've been settled down for 22 years. And I don't have any intention of going anywhere else. So anyway, obviously there's other things beyond some of these things in their chart that could show that. But anyway, I think that there's that passionate and charming character, and then there's the one who's a little bit more stable and secure. Materially. Oh my God, I can't talk. Materially, you know what I'm trying to say. Secure. Do you ever have that where you just can't get the words out and you're like, it's in my head, I know how to say this. I have a few words like that. There's another one, but I'm not going to go into that right now. There was one I was thinking of, like, that I always get wrong, and I'm like, oh, and it's so frustrating. Okay, anyway. But basically, yes, there can be that sense of, like, meeting two people at once, like I said, or juggling, etc. There can be like fire, earth energy. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, earth signs, of course, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And I feel like the stars in the ring show me that you're destined for a relationship, like even a marriage with one of these people. And you'll have to probably leave one for the other. And like I said, of course, some of you may be single and you'll just be talking to two people at once, and you'll choose one of these. So that's an interesting scenario. Not what I was expecting, to be honest, from this reading. I'll be honest, like I wasn't expecting this kind of reading, because I feel like I'm getting more, not about the person per se, but more about the situation, the scenario that you're going to be in. I would say choose with your heart, obviously. Now, anything additional here? We've got courage here, okay? So being courageous and making a choice. Of course, it's hard too when you have like a choice between two people. It can be scary to make a choice, like what if I make the wrong choice, etc. And there could be, I could lose that other person forever. But it's like you're being told to be courageous in your choice. Now we've got security, so that's something to think about too. Now, some of you may find that one of the people that you are presented with is going to be a bit more of a secure type. So they may have more security personality traits. Perhaps for some of you, it's like you already have somebody around that's quite like a romantic or whatever, but maybe is unstable and has proven themselves as such. You know what I mean? You don't want to go with that person. I feel like here with security, I feel like your next relationship is going to be secure, but and I think that's who you're going to be gravitating towards, and that's who Spirit encourages you to be gravitated towards, is the secure person, okay? And it says here, the message of this card says, you are safe and protected. No matter what is occurring in your life, you are in safe hands. Those in the realm of Spirit are watching over you, and you can relax and let go. Once you've taken measures to protect yourself and those you love, such as making sure everyone has their seatbelt on in the car, making sure your insurance is paid on time, or replacing the filter on your heating unit, then let go. If you have been hyper-vigilant lately, take a break. Relax. Know that all is well. You can turn it all over to the Creator. Now, this is a beautiful energy, because I do feel like this represents the person that you will end up choosing. They will be the person who takes care of you in all these practical senses, And honestly, you guys, it could be either one. Because the King of Wands can also show love through action, And the King of Pentacles can also show a lot of like security and practicality. So honestly, like I said, I think generally you guys are going to be choosing between these two people, and some of you will choose that one and that one. It just depends on like what works for you, obviously, when that moment comes. Now we've got the Blood Moon courage card, and I'm telling you, this definitely makes you feel like there may be a bit of courage required with this relationship. And maybe it's like about, like I said, making that leap towards someone. But it says, a change is coming. Don't cling on to the past. A portal of opportunity is opening up. Leave the past behind now for your own good. Now, this is interesting too, because I think for some of you, if you have like an ex that comes around during this time, that you're knowing a new person, I think this is definitely a signal for you guys to not engage with the person that's shown them or proven themselves to be unstable. Okay, that's something I'm going to say. But yeah, anyway, what an interesting reading. That's one of the fun parts about reading cards, is I never know what the hell's going to come out. This is much different than what I anticipated or expected. And, it's more about the scenario rather than the person, themselves. But, it is what it is. Spirit gives me the messages it gives. And perhaps I'll try to look more deeper in a future reading as to who this is. Like maybe physically or personality-wise, but obviously you guys were given a little bit of a different scenario than the others. Well, we'll see what 3 and 4 hold. But anyway, I wish you the very, very best. Lots of love to you. Take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Hello, my friends. If you chose group number 3 here with this beautiful key with a bow, so cute. This is your reading. I'm going to cleanse the area here a little bit from that last one. Invite some energy in here to help me interpret these cards to the best of my ability. So we've got the Fork in the Road card. Ooh, interesting. There may be choices associated with your next partnership. We got the Lady and the Whip, 6 of Pentacles, and the Emperor, as well as success in love and the good lady. So this is interesting. The lady shows up twice. Of course, we've got a masculine with the emperor. So that's quite interesting. The emperor kind of signifying, obviously, this person a bit, can show somebody who's quite a strong character. So this can be somebody who wields a lot of power, usually is very successful, often wealthy, or perhaps, has a lot of potential for that. Usually a very good leader in general, very fair, assertive, confident, etc. And there's obviously a lot of masculinity that comes along with this particular one, because obviously the Empress would be the counterpart of the feminine. But anyway, this can talk about, in terms of like the brain, this can talk about somebody who is associated with reason and logic and all of these sorts of things, skills that belong to anything of those categories. So for instance, careers could be like, politics or computer science, IT, armed forces, etc. It could be somebody who was previously police, as an example. So it could be previous military or something like that, police, etc. Science, corporate, the corporate world, etc. Okay, funny little thing. My mother started calling me, so I don't know if that was a sign. She called right during this that moment, so I had to like pause it. Sorry about that. But yeah, so when the tough when things get tough, the tough get going. That's the kind of vibe that the Emperor has. It's somebody who is a tough person. I feel like they can take a lot of challenge and remain strong. I feel like that they have a lot of courage and endurance as well. And they're, assertive. They don't mince their words. They're straightforward. They're not a bully, but they know how to face fears, you know what I mean? And they know how to stand up for themselves and stand up for the others in their life. I feel like actually with the Six of Pentacles, they may be a really hard worker because they want to give back to their family, to their relationship, to the people in their life. So I think that they do have like strong motivation based off of that. And I will say that they know their own mind, they're going to defend their principles, their loved ones, you know what I mean, and everything that they have without any sort of qualm. They're not weak at all. They'll be like the first to kind of like stand up for you, etc. And oftentimes there can be like a competitive side to them. They may like sport and it's interesting because the lady in the whips, by the way, this can show a woman who exercises. So for some of you, especially if you're a lady, as an example, I wouldn't be surprised if this could be like a gym owner or somebody who you meet at a gym, or there could be some aspect of that. But it could show again too that there's just a lot of attraction as well. That's another way to say it. Now, I would say that their passion's pretty fiery, open, direct, etc. Like, again, you know what they want. They're not the type to hold back. They'll make an offer to you. I feel like this person could ask you out on a date. They may ask you out repeatedly, by the way, as well. They might, like, kind of come at you, and even with the lady in the whips, like, so it's kind of a weird one because sometimes it could be passionate and sexual, but sometimes there can be arguments. I'm not really feeling like there's arguments though, based on the other cards per se. I don't, you know what I mean, because the other cards are not really indicating like fights and stuff like that. So I want to say probably there's just a lot of attraction and passion between the two of you. Both of you could come on quite strongly, which could, of course, create headbutting and stuff like that, obviously. But I think that there could still be good success, and you guys could find common ground with this, of course. Sometimes, with the Six of Pentacles, though, there can be an uneven giving. Because one is rich and one is poor, right? So sometimes it's about, it can bring in that aspect, of course. So it could be that both of you kind of are trying to fight for number one spot, as an example, because maybe if you're both very dominant in your energy and very like kind of strong types, that could be intense. Of course, it could create a lot of passion, like I said. But yeah, now, I do feel like there's like that, like I said, the power dynamic, the strong sexual energy, etc. I think the key will be balance, obviously. This could be actually a very important relationship with the key, and I feel like there could be something that comes out of this. But the fork in the road indicates that some of you will take this relationship and some of you will not. Some of you will move forward with this person, some of you will not. And I think it depends on like kind of how you're feeling. I do feel like you're actually quite powerful in this situation as well. And so you may feel like, you know, maybe there's a better person out there for you, for some of you, okay? So this is not to say that all of you, like I said, I think this is probably about 50-50. For some of you, this will end up being like a long-term thing where you really find a lot of pleasure in this relationship and things move forward quite swimmingly, you know, and you're able to really find that balance. For others of you, you may find that disbalance a little bit, or the fact that you guys are so similar, not ideal in some way, and may decide to go elsewhere. I do want to say intuitively, especially for those of you that decide that it's not for you, I want to say that this is actually kind of a key point for you getting your next relationship after this person. Okay, sorry, we've got to accept help here. So for some of you, this may be a relationship in which we have the yin moon, which is interesting because we have all this masculine energy. Now this may be, especially if you are a hard ass or kind of a tougher person, it may be that you'll have to, with this particular relationship, you will have to let go a little bit and let them in. You know what I mean? Especially, and those of you, by the way, who this is for, you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll know that you're maybe a little bit hard to let people take the wheel. As an example, you may have had, you know, experiences that made you that way. You know what I mean? That made you, but it says don't be stubborn. Bring out your softer side. Someone wants to help you. And it says maybe you're being too tough on yourself or on someone else. This card comes up when the energies are harsh. Being independent is a great thing, but sometimes we just refuse other people's help for all the wrong reasons. Make sure you're not guilty of this right now. There is a sense that you need to accept someone else's help in order to get your job done or to get where you want to go. So this is an interesting message because that may be, you know, definitely a part of this for some of you, especially for those of you where this will be a good relationship, where there is success in this and you're ready for that. Where is this? We have Illumination. Oh, that's such a pretty card. I love this deck. It's such a beautiful one, the Sacred Destiny Oracle. It's just got the most beautiful cards. The colors are very appealing. Okay, so it says here, the upward spiraling mists rising in the mountains suggest that those in the realm of spirit, your spirit protectors, your ancestors and guardians, are close at hand, assisting you on the upward journey of illumination. They are protecting you and supporting you. Your spiritual life is expanding by leaps and bounds. Even if you can't see what's ahead, Spirit's close at hand. If you draw this card, trust your heart and what you feel more than what you see and what you think, and you will be guided in a wondrous direction. Wow, that's a very, a good message. Following your heart, obviously, and not what you see at first glance. And that might be something, you know, in terms of this relationship, in terms of navigating it. Maybe not going with your mental instinct that you've been taught, but rather going with that instinct of the heart and seeing where it leads you in this connection. I will say that for some of you, this person could come off quite cocky at first, and that could be almost like a turnoff, but they might not be all that they seem. They might actually have a very generous heart behind it all. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So that is the next romantic partner potential coming your way, and I hope that this reading was helpful for you. I wish you the very best, and I hope to see you again on the channel. Take care, and see you next time. Hello, my beautiful friends. If you chose this final group, this is your reading. So let's see about your next romantic partner. So we've got the Queen of Hearts and the little key lock with the heart. Beautiful. So we've got the Loyal Heart, as well as Higher Power. Already getting mega vibes that you guys are meant to meet this person. Definitely a soul connection and significant connection here with the key as well. This is, look at that, key energy, key energy. There's that. That's hilarious because I totally picked these out before I ever shuffled. And because I shuffled off camera not to waste time, you know, on the video. But anyway, I had actually picked those out first and set them aside for the, you know, just kind of like what I was feeling intuitively. So it's kind of funny because we were getting that key energy. And then, of course, you know, there's that lock there that I added additionally to that Queen of Hearts. And then we have the Queen of Cups, and wow, okay, that's crazy. Okay, so first of all, and we have a lot about home. Your next partnership, you are definitely living together. There's definitely, we have marriage too, obviously. You guys are definitely going to be combining. So that's quite interesting, because even if you're in a place where you own your own home already, I feel like you guys are going to be buying something together in the future or doing something like that. Anyway, that's just kind of a side note here. With the Loyal Heart card, this is beautiful because it feels like you're meeting your match. Look at how they look at each other eye to eye, and they look back for each other. And it's like looking at each other's backs, but also it makes that kind of like heart shape almost as well. And I feel like this is a counterpart for you, like a serious one. Like, this is crazy. Okay, so we've got commerce. Now, that's ruled by Mercury. Of course, you might meet in business. For some of you, you may end up making a business from home. I could see some of you marrying this person and having like a little farm or something like that. Or maybe not a farm, but like maybe some sort of business, or there's something here like significant. Home is significant. Like, I feel like you guys are able to really open up your souls to each other. Wow. With the Queen of Cups, of course, you know, this is an intuitive connection. It's a spiritual connection. There's a lot of love. And then we have that Two of Cups. You can't get any better. This is definitely where you guys can connect emotionally in a very, you know, kind and loving way. And again, like I said, I feel like this is where there's significant things happening in your life. Like I said, this is like where you buy a home together, or, you know, they feel like home spiritually, okay? This could feel like you've known this person forever. Like somehow you just start talking and it's like, man, I feel like I've known them for years, but you've only been talking for like a week. You'll know it. They feel like home, okay? You'll just know it. It's not going to be weird. It's not going to be awkward. It's like where suddenly, I was talking to actually my husband's manager came to town with his wife, and we were showing, they're going to have a wedding near where we're at, so we were showing them around and, you know, having a good time, etc. And they were talking about like how when they first met, they ended up talking for like 8 hours or something. It was like some kind of crazy amount of time, and it's like they just, you know, hit it off or whatever. And that's what it reminds me of. Like, you know, it's like where you guys could just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and you know what I mean, there's just a sense of belonging that you didn't know you were even missing. To be honest, I think you'll know it because it's going to feel different than anything. Even if you thought you were in love before, this is something beyond that, okay? You are going to feel a lot different. It's going to just blow all those other things out of the water. And you'll be like, that was just a joke compared to this whole situation. You may also meet them through a home-related situation. For some of you, I'm not going to lie, you could meet them through like they come and fix your sink, or they come and do some work on your house or something like that. Could be a neighborhood gathering, of course, through family, any sort of renovation, etc. But anyways, definitely this is a partnership in which you build something around each other, and you build something not just in a romantic way, but a foundational way where, yeah, it's like I feel like you guys are buying a home together. This is like the person that you live with. Okay, let's see what else we've got about this person. They love being at home. I can tell you that much. They love being at home. They may be a tinkerer around the house. They may like always be looking to improve things. Yeah, stillness. They find happiness in stillness when things are calm. And look at this, beautiful. It's like you have so many happy memories. You'll have so many happy memories, happy experiences, happy adventures together. I feel like you guys will make each other laugh and joke. Think about dolphins. They're such joyful creatures. And it's like two fun people getting together and having a good time is what it makes me think of. And I feel like people, they'll see you and they'll like, you guys are like the same type. Like you guys are like two peas in a pod. Definitely. It says, click your heels and shout for joy. The signs are with you. Let your light shine. Abounding good luck awaits you. A gateway is opening for even more joy and happiness, and your life is expanding. Opportunities are emerging, and this is a time to go forward with glee. Love deeply and fully. Embrace life with open arms. Goodness is flowing to you. The only thing to be aware of is to monitor your expansion in a metered way. Now, of course, I feel like it says too much too fast could be overwhelming. Sorry if you hear my stomach growling. I'm getting hungry. Anyway, but yeah, it's beautiful. It's all about illumination, truth, cheer, warmth, and goodwill. Additionally, sunlight is an expansive force. And that's something you guys may love to get outdoors as well. So it's not only at home, but it's like I feel like there's a great balance between the two of you. It's like you'll have so many fun adventures. I feel like I see you guys going on trips to the sea, or like to like maybe you guys are going to like, coastal areas, different islands, etc., or adventures. It's just adventures in general. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you guys will have a strong home base, but it's like you guys are also traveling or going places and doing things, seeing things. Again, there's that stillness too. And I think that's something about this relationship. There's a sense of security and stillness. It's like you can be calm with them, etc. And they can be a very, by the way, it says, just as migrating birds find new life in the tundra marshes in the summer, you too will expand once again during the coming thaw in your life. And this could be a time where you are expanding in new directions. And think about the swan, of course, beauty. This person could be a very beautiful person, very elegant, and calm. A calming but fun person. Like calm and fun. Love it. Okay, so let's see. Anything additional? I guess I feel like I've got, this is so straightforward. That's the problem. But yeah, I was going to say, like, the higher power obviously shows you guys coming together due to higher power. There's definitely a spiritual influence on this. And just like the love abounds here, it's just like very deep. Oops. This person could come in as like, this is interesting because this person, we have the crossroad, the mountain, the rider, and the woman. This person could come in at a time where you're feeling very blocked in your life and you know you've got to make a decision. This could be the person who kicks you into a decision as well. Like there could be some key decisions that you make from this relationship that you were previously blocked on, or you felt like you couldn't make a choice. Anything about their personality? We got birds. Could be a nervous talker. I feel like they're very smart. Very, very smart person. They have a lot of knowledge about things. They pay attention to events and news, and not news necessarily like I mean like in the world, but they're just knowledgeable. They they might watch a lot of documentaries or have like kind of an inquisitive mind. They may like to read or, gather information, etc. They may be sometimes like they may gossip a little or chat with you about secrets or like hidden things as well. But I would feel like you're their confidant in some way. The lily shows maturity, so it's not like they're like a nasty little gossip or anything like that. It's like that they'll be like, it's funny because I always joke in like my relationship that like my husband, it's like if you tell me, my husband's going to find out because I tell him pretty much everything and vice versa. So it's like you pretty much, but we'll be honorable with your secret together. But that's the kind of vibe I get. It's like you guys will be like little gossipers, but not in a negative way. Not like not in a way that's like mean to other people. It's more of like from a sense of like maturity and like kindness. You know what I mean? Like it's not bad. The lily's a nice card, so it's not like they're doing bad. It's just like they might like tell you like stuff about people, but it's like, oh, because they want to help that person or something. It's not like, oh yeah, look at them, they're stupid. Not that kind of stuff. There's a kindness to them. But anyway, I was going to say they may get chattery when they're nervous. They might like to chat. Like every conversation with this person will turn into deep things. So you'll know that. Like I had somebody recently who came to me for a reading, I don't know if she's listening to this, but she'll know if she is. But anyway, she like, you know, was talking with the guy, and as soon as she started to bring up some interesting questions, you know, about topics, his answers were super boring. Like he would just like skip the topic altogether, or like, you know what I mean, like not give any good answer. And she's kind of like, yeah, he's not the one, that's for sure. Because like, you know what I mean, you know, it's like you want to engage with somebody mentally. But anyways, and that's a person. They always have something engaging to say and interesting. Now the lilies could show that they're older than you, by the way, because this can show someone who's more mature as well. But that could be because they just read a lot and they have, you know, a breadth of knowledge. But anyway, that is what I'm seeing for you guys. Beautiful relationship, I think, here for you guys, and I'm just happy it came out so positive. Because definitely we've got soulmate, like just, my goodness, loyalty. Like, I mean, I can't even. I better just shut up now. Anyway, take care of yourselves, okay? And I'll see you all in the next video. Lots of love.